What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today we got the top 10 Mystic champions for BGs. Now this is going to be the same thing like the Cosmic. There's gonna be some champions that I wish I could place, the honorable mentions, but I couldn't because the Mystic class is just, it's so good. It's so good for BGs. So the first one is White Tiger. I couldn't place White Tiger on the top 10. She is good. She's a very, very good champion for Serpent. Sometimes really fast as well, like I have a 7-star rank too. The problem is she's not really a good defender. Like that's my problem. And I think there's better champions on the list. She probably would be like top 11, I'm not gonna lie, like a very, very good champion. And some people are definitely gonna argue that she should have been in the top 10. But another champion that I want to place the top 10 is Hood. Same reason I didn't place him is because he's not a defender. He could take most champions, but against 7-star rank 3s, he might struggle a little bit. Maybe if we see like some 7-star awakens now, I'm going to change my mind. And then lastly, I also, actually 2 more champions. Mordo. I think he is a bit of an annoying defender, and sometimes if you play him correctly, he could be really fast on offense. So definitely want to place him as well, but I couldn't. And then lastly, my boy Destroyer. I think Destroyer is really tough to use. People now with the Summer of Suffering or whatever it was, they know how to fight him now. He's just not a big threat on defense. Like he rarely gets me, like, you know, kills, unless the node is like pretty crazy. So he's not really the best defender right now. And on offense, he's gonna be slow. Like no matter what you do, in most scenarios, you're gonna finish the opponent in like 70 to 80 seconds. But in like a fast fight, you would be able to do it in like 40 seconds. Like I think I've taken like a Hulkling in 40 seconds, which is like his most ideal matchup. But he couldn't make it to the top 10. But let's go for the top 10 now. And the 10th spot goes to Mephisto, a 6-star, and that is such a good defender. There are counters to this guy, but there's not many of them. And if you don't have one of them, you're either going to take a lot of damage, or you're just going to wait out the aura, meaning you're going to take a long time. And he's such a good defender, man. Like you ideally, for like a perfect counter for this guy, you need someone for his healing, someone for something for his power gain, something for his incinerates. There's so many things. And actually Count Fire pretty much counters like Mephisto all around. But, you know, his Count Fire is like okay for Mephisto. I would say if they have him, I wouldn't really draft him for sure. He's like a pretty good counter for him. But if you don't have like, you know, those good counters like Titanium, Scorpion, you definitely will take a lot of damage, or if you're going to take time. So definitely deserves to be in the top 10 for me. Now, some people are going to argue with this. Top 9, Absorbing Man. I still think this guy sometimes can be a good defender with, you know, all that regen that he's got, all that resistance that he's got, and the MD and all that stuff. And he's such a good attacker to me, man. Like, he's not the fastest one. If you do those intercepts, you're going to see some speed. Like, I still take rank 3 at Tumas in like 50 seconds with Absorbing 50 to 60 seconds, which is not bad for sure. And he's just got so many immunities on the first form and on the second form. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you can literally, if you take damage with Absman, you just, you know, if you select the right form, you're not going to take much, because he has also got some crit resistance and a lot of physical resistance on the first form, on the Uru form, and on the Magma form, the energy resistance. So he's just a very good champion, even if you make a mistake. Like, you might still get the round because you just don't take much damage even from getting hit. So to me, definitely deserves to be a top 9. Now, top 8. This is the Wolf. This guy, he's like okay on defense. He can mess you up sometimes, especially if it's full moon, to like get to 10 charges and then go unstoppable. Can definitely mess you up, or like the SP1. But he's not really the best defender. He's honestly decent on attack, but he's definitely doing some matches that I'm surprised like he's doing. Especially if he's full moon, he can do like very, very good matches. But also he's got the nice regeneration, decent counter for Serpent. Overall a good counter for Cosmics because he does more damage when they have buffs with his special 2 ruptures. And yeah, I think I like his playstyle a lot. I think I might take him to rank 2 on my free-to-play because I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun using him. Just, you know, unique playstyle. And yeah, he can take some fights without even hitting the opponent that much. Just hit their block and like get your power again by howling. So that's another nice way of playing, you know, Werewolf. Moving on to the top 7, Kindred. This guy, occasionally he could be like an attacker. He's going to be very slow though. He might be like a decent counter for a Maestro or something, but he is going to be slow. You need a ton of special 2s or even special 3 to like kill the opponent. But he's biggest thing is being an annoying defender. Even if you got the best counter for him, even if you got like anything, something can go wrong when he's got 5% health or lower, and you can lose a lot of your health. Like, he's one of those defenders that the fight can go smoothly, but then the last second you can lose even like a tiny bit of health. That can lose you the round. And sometimes it's not that tiny of a bit of health. It could be like 50% of your health, you know, especially if he decides to throw some random heavies, because that's how his AI is. He wants to trigger that Dread Aura, so he gets more charges. But yeah, that's just how Kindred is. He's always going to be a bit of an annoying defender, no matter what you got. Unless you get someone like with insane degen resistance, like Spider Ham, which then it's like super, super safe to fight with Kindred. That's who I usually use for Kindred. Moving on to the top 6, Tigra. Tigra, you know, at the right hands, just does so many fights. She can be a very, very good nuke. If you get lucky with the immortality from Serpent, can be the fastest option in the game, 100%. With like double specialties, you can kill a 7-star rank 3. You need good AI though to like bait those heavies. You might take some block damage if he doesn't want to throw them quickly. And the thing is, if you proxy immortality, that's going to be an issue for Tigra, unless you got like specials ready and Relic. But at the right hands, one of the fastest Mystic attackers in the game for sure. The only problem is she's not a good defender. She has really low health, and her specials are like a little bit tricky, the special too, but not really unless you're like cornered. So I think top 6 for Tigra is pretty good. Now moving on to the top 5, Kushala. Now some people might say that Kushala needs the opponent to have buffs to deal damage, but I've been using her ever since I got her from a Titan Crystal, which was pretty early, and there's not many metas that I didn't include her in. Like, she does so well. I couldn't obviously include her in the previous one with the energy resistance, but she does so well even if the opponent doesn't have buffs, because you just place the buffs, you know, you place the buffs and you just nullify them off of the opponent. Just does so much damage. Super safe with how you can block unblockables. One of my favorite champion for Nick Fury. She's also bleeding immune there, and you can pretty much manipulate the AI by making them more aggressive with your second spell. It's a lot easier to intercept there. And also, probably the top 2 counter for Serpent, because you heal almost all of the block damage from specials when you get three of your spells. So definitely worth the top 5. On to the top 4, moving on to Chavez. So Chavez, probably the best counter for Serpent. I'm like 99.999% sure she's the best. She's like super safe because you sometimes don't even bait specials against Serpent if you play correctly. And the reason why she beat Kushala is because she's a defender too. Like, she might have low health, but if she decides to throw heavies, it's almost game over, because she could go for unblockable special 2s. She could even trigger that second spell, which is the worst thing ever, man. You take that damage back no matter what you do, and it lasts for so long. So yeah, Chavez can be a threat on defense for sure, and an amazing attacker. She does a lot of damage, manipulates power gain, and you know, you get those easy openings with the heavy, you know, your 4-hit combo heavy. And then lastly, you can also heal with her second dimension. So pretty good champion for sure. Top 3, we got Enchantress, which is not here, but let's talk about Enchantress. So she's very new. She's not you're not going to use her in attacking BGs ever. She is very, very slow. If you do that, you're probably going to time out. But if you don't do that and put her on defense, most likely she's going to get you the win, because the opponent, here's the thing. If you know how to fight Enchantress, it's fine. But the thing about Enchantress is she makes you change your playstyle. Like, if you have someone that's like a parry heavy champion, you're going to need to change up your playstyle for Enchantress, because you need intercepts and you need to punish her heavy and all that stuff. Like, you're going to need to change your playstyle. That is why she slows you down. You got to bait those SP1s. She also is like a bit tricky with the special 1. She's almost like Killmonger special 2, where she throws it from like a really far distance. But yeah, man, she's going to force you to change your playstyle, and that itself is going to slow you down. And if she decides to like proc all those spells at once with her SP1, that's tough, because then you need to bait heavies, you take a lot of block damage. She could mess you up with that 30% untouchable, and then that's just how it goes. That's how you lose all of your health. It's game over with Enchantress. So I think she's powerful. I don't think she's as powerful as Serpent, but definitely a very good defender. Now, moving on to the top 2, we got Juggernaut. I know you're surprised this guy is not rank 1. It was really tough. Man, what can I say about Juggernaut? Very, very plug and play champion. He's so easy to use. Anybody can use him. Even if you make mistakes, you got the unstoppables to cover you. He's him and CGR probably the biggest nukes in the game. Like, he just does some insane stuff, especially if you get some crits, which being a 7-star just helps. Like, I don't know how Juggernaut is a 7-star, by the way, but he's just so broken. He does so many matches, unbelievable. He's like, he's almost like what a 7-star CGR would have been, but I still think 7-star CGR would be better than Juggernaut, but Juggernaut is just insane. Like, what can I say about him? It's just such a big nuke. And moving on to the top 1, Sasquatch. I think Sasquatch is better than Juggernaut. Obviously, you can counter Sasquatch with pretty much anyone, but he's just such a good attacker too, man. Like, he even takes Serpent. He's got so much health, doesn't care about block damage. His health is insanely high. He has the highest health in the game, like ridiculous. He's got a good stagger on the heavy attack, and yeah, if you crit with his special 2, he does so much damage. Like, I'm talking like 200k plus special 2s, which is just gonna kill them. It's gonna kill anyone with like double crits on the special 2. He's so good, and sometimes if you're playing correctly, he can like power drain the opponent with your last hit of the specials, which is going to like save you from taking an L3. But yeah, most people are using him on defense because he's got the highest health in the game. He's got regen. He reduces damage with his Wrath charges. And when he triggers Wrath of Tanarok, he can even go unstoppable with rank specials. So to me, he's one of the best. Or actually, he is the best. He's the best for PGs. I'm hunting for this guy in both of my accounts, and I just can't pull him. If I pull him, he goes to rank 3 even unduped. Like, I'm doing it. He's just such a good champion. But let me know what you guys think about the top 10 mystics for BGs. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.